Hello everyone, it's Luphisra here. I'm back to play more Secret Files. Games, I guess. I don't know why I took a pause there. Probably because I got the wrong introduction. I was supposed to say I'm going to play Secret Files St. Peter's today. But I messed up. But whatever, that's going to be kept in the video. I'm not going to redo the intro. But why am I playing Secret Files St. Peter's today? Instead of just Secret Files 3, because I'm playing this before Secret Files 3, is because this game, chronologically, in-game, happens between Game 2 and Game 3. Although this game technically did come out in 2013 and is considered to be the fourth and final game in the Secret Files series. But I figured, since we just finished playing Secret Files 2, we can play this game, when the character St. Peter's is still fresh in our mind, and also find out what happened to her in that game. And after that, yeah, she only appeared for a brief moment. Actually, she didn't appear for a long time. So let's get started.
My name is Sam Peters. I'm comprehensively great-looking, a natural blonde, and a highly intelligent one. I'm extremely tough, an exceptional journalist, and I hate modesty.
The same voice actor as the game 2? But I don't know why she sounds a bit different.
I work for Uncharted. It's basically Playboy for scientists. Fewer naked women, fewer cars, more text. We report on excavations in, and expeditions to, the remotest corners of the world. The pay is, to be exact, pretty miserable. But you get adventure on tap, and that's the best bonus you could ask for.
I mean, if they pay for plane tickets and everything, why not, right? You can kind of make do with the pay if you get to travel all over the world.
Although sometimes they're
paid
free
to do that too.
My latest trip took me to Indonesia, where local archaeologists had discovered an ancient temple complex in the jungle.
And this is what happened in Game 2. She was supposed to investigate the temple and everything. Of course, she encountered the Piratas Cortes people.
Team members were disappearing one after another without trace.
Yeah, this is the Game 2 scene.
Those terrorists. They kidnapped me. Then my old friend Max showed up and got me out of there. And here we are. He's off trying to get a whiff of the gang's plans. I'm supposed to inform the Indonesian authorities.
Okay, so we start off where we left off Max in Game 2. So this takes place in Game 2 after she and Max separated. She's supposed to go to the Indonesian authorities.
Oh, and a volcano has now erupted and half of the island is in flames. I have no idea where Max is now, and I'm not going looking for him in this inferno. Anyway,
Smart.
it's supposed to be the man who goes through flames for the woman, and not the other way around. My task is clear. I have to escape from this island and bring help from the mainland.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So this is taking place in between Game 2 after the explosion.
Done it. Now let's hightail it out of here.
Okay, she does sound different
Crap.
from
It's missing some
in Game 2.
inflation. Reminds me of my last relationship. So how am I supposed to get to the mainland now?
I think probably because this game came out many years after the second game. The second game came out in 2009. This game came out in 2013. 1 year after Secret Files 3. So everything controlled with the mouse. We have played this game before, or games similar to this. So these are the controls. I would think the controls in Secret Files 3 is also similar to this one compared to the second game. And she looks a bit different in this game too.
Definitely past its sell-by date as a food source. But that claw might make a useful tool.
Crab claw. What's this red thing sticking out from the ground?
I don't like to admit it, but this rock's just too big for me.
Yeah, I like her voice in this one better than in the second game, I'll say that. The second game sounds a bit too high-pitched for me.
Maybe I can get it open some other way. My goodness. Max and his weakness for fancy locking mechanisms.
Oh, is this Max boat? Okay. By the way, I have a snack with me. And my drink. So, you guys are watching me, you can go grab your own snack. Grab a snack, grab a drink, grab some food. Enjoy. Okay. So what am I supposed to do? 1, 2, 3. How do I know? Oh, Max. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Interesting mechanism. I'm sure that by pushing the switch, you can get Max's box open.
No, wait.
I hope all the trouble's been worth it. Boots?
Pretty simple puzzle.
A satellite phone would have been nice.
Why do you have to put your boots and socks in this metal locked crate? Put something more valuable in it next time, Max. Air pump parts.
Pump's dismantled. I need to take a good look at this.
Okay, look at this.
Down air pump.
Fix the pump. Hello, the Hermit Gamer. Where does this go to? Okay, I think it works. All right. Controls are a bit off for that puzzle, but not too bad.
That would be a job of Sisyphean magnitude, so long as we still have that hole in the side.
Welcome to the stream, the Hermit Gamer. It's Saturday, so are you still at work? Because I forgot. Do you work on Saturdays? Just remind me. Cut this up. Cut the socks up. Free for the time being. Okay, good to know. Good that you're free.
The volcano's out of control. Whatever it is I'm doing here, let's do it fast.
Okay, so we're playing as Sam. This is the start of game 2. Or rather, where we left off with Sam in game 2. So she's supposed to escape from the island is where we are at. I need to find my way around. Fuck, not this way.
No man is so great that a woman will go back into hell for him. And Max isn't all that in the first place. No.
Max isn't all that in the first place?
That rule. Make an exception to my own and actually do what I'm told.
Okay, fine. We're supposed to grab the skeleton.
Just take the one bone.
Okay, one bone. Guess it's sharp enough to become like a tool. What's that arrangement of stones?
Like an arrow. Best be careful. It could be a trap.
Well, I'm not gonna go there.
The boots can't be cut with that, and I don't want to skewer them either.
Sharpen it?
And the crab claw onto the end.
Am I supposed to pick something up? Wait, message in a bottle. But just have you know, I have my snack. I have my snack. And I have my drink. I got Chinese fries. Not really fries, but it's just potato cut into the wavy fry shape and then stir fried. Seasoned with delicious sauce. Like the seasoning. It really does taste good, by the way. And I got bubble tea.
There's a note inside the bottle. Unfortunately, I can't open the top.
I break this? Grab.
Shards are lucky.
Magic pockets. Not afraid of the shards.
I can't translate this. It's either Indonesian or Malaysian.
Well, damn it. Okay. Shards. Socks.
They're too big for me anyway. I'll cut a piece of rubber out.
Yeah, cut a piece of the rubber out. I need it to fix the boat.
I'll jam the piece of rubber between the claws.
Oh, I get it. Melt it a little bit in the heat. In the fire. And stick it onto the boat.
You have to know when enough's enough. Melted enough?
But yeah, the graphics in this, because this game came out in 2013, even though that's like, what, 12 years ago? Fantastic graphics, by the way. Whole.
For your information, ignoramus, to filthy damp places, soft rubber sticketh not.
Oh.
Let's clean away this grease and sand.
And then stick it onto the hole.
Perfect.
And then now pump it.
Let's get this dinghy back on the high seas.
So we can get out of this, like, island. And go grab some help. Although we know from game 2 that she didn't manage to actually get help from mainland. But she went on her own little adventure. So we'll find out what the adventure is. So she took that boat and then the plane all the way over to
home at last. First, I'm going to treat myself to a
home.
Drink, and then I will.
She just went straight home.
5 messages my charming editor has left for me. He sounds a bit miffed because I've only just got back from Indonesia. My excuses had better wait. He's already got a new job lined up for me. Oh, it's an important one by the sounds of it. Could be big for the magazine. I'd better not waste any time.
Yeah, so that's it for the part of game 2. This is after game 2.
Sure, a girl like me can find a new job really fast, but it still sounds like hassle I don't need. I'd best take the next flight to Berlin. I need to meet up with a Professor Hartmann.
Time to go to Berlin.
Humboldt University, and our magazine is one of the sponsors of his Africa expedition. It seems that our professor is hot on the trail of some scientific sensation out there. How often have I heard that shit? The sensation is usually some frothy bullshit that we can't even use to fill the summer news gap. Anyway, I'm clinging on to this job, which means I'm headed out to Africa with the professor at the next opportunity.
Oh, so not Berlin?
Where we're going.
We're going to Africa? Okay.
And that is exactly what I love about this damn job.
This is a really short game. People have managed to beat this in 2 hours or less. So they're skipping over quite a bit of stuff with, like, dialogue.
The Biological Institute. This is where I'm supposed to meet Professor Hartmann. The gate's locked.
Are we in Berlin or are we in Africa?
Yes, can I help you?
Hello, my name is Peters. I've got an appointment with Professor Hartmann.
I'm sorry, but he's no longer in the building.
What? But he wanted to meet me here this evening.
According to our database, the professor is away on an expedition.
He's already set off?
He left already?
But I was supposed to be going with him.
Yes, well, not every department of this facility is as efficiently organized as the security department is.
Shit. My boss is gonna go bananas when he finds out I've missed this shot. What am I supposed to do now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so The professor just flew off without us. Fuck you, Professor. Could have waited. But let's
Do you
talk
know
to him.
exactly
Whoever
why
this person is.
Professor guilted me?
Just a second. It looks like it was this morning.
Okay, so it was the morning. So not too far away from the time. I guess we could still meet him. And sorry, I clicked out of the game for a little bit. Yeah, I needed to fix something. But yeah, I figured we could catch up, right? I mean, just take the plane after him or something.
Do you know where the professor was headed?
No, but you could ask his secretary.
Great. Where is she?
Frau Mueller has already left for the weekend. She'll be back Monday morning.
Have you got her home number?
We do. But I couldn't possibly give out private staff details to members of the public. Be patient and come back Monday.
Patience is definitely not an option. No professor, no story. I need to find
This
his
professor fellow
If I only knew where he was headed.
don't like you.
Now I'm really in a jam. Could you perhaps pop along to Professor Hartmann's office and see if he's left a note for me?
If he had left you a note, then it would be here at reception, I'm sure.
You don't bother to even go check? Fuck you,
Does
receptionist.
Professor Hartmann have a cell number by any chance?
Doesn't look like it. We only have his office number here.
Could you perhaps imagine letting me into his office for just a mo?
If you'd like to know precisely, no, not in my wildest dreams. But I wish you a refreshing, stress-free weekend.
Same to you. With bells on. Looks like I'm gonna have to help myself. No gate stopped me before. I need to get into the professor's office to find out where he's gone. If I mess up this assignment, then that's my job out the window.
Okay, so we need to get inside. Can I look in the trash? Any handy dandy stuff for me?
Without a very, very good reason, I am not going to touch that.
Why not? Learn from Nina. She goes through the trash all the time. Well, most of the time.
The first accessory for my sailboat.
The wall? Oh, there's a camera though. I need to cover it.
The camera is covering the entire entrance. The doorman will be watching every move I make. No. Without a very, very good reason, I am not going to touch that.
Okay, can I look at stuff then? The sign?
The Humboldt University Biological Institute. There's a notice from garbage collection stuck on the letterbox. According to this, the BSR collects the waste paper first. Then another truck comes for the bio waste. The bulky stuff goes tomorrow.
And just like that.
The waste paper collection's been and gone.
So he turns the camera when they drive by to collect the trash. Nice.
Unfortunately, not all of the walls in Berlin got ripped down.
Oh, we are in Berlin. Okay.
If I throw the carpet over the metal spikes, I can climb over the wall unscathed, but I'd end up in full view of the security camera. It's not gonna work as is.
Okay.
The camera is directed at the entrance. It's only moved once, and that was when the garbage truck drove up, but only so far. It still keeps its original target area in sight.
Can I somehow make it move?
A good idea messing about with the camera. The doorman would be onto me right away.
Oh, good idea. Okay.
The curbstone is full of chalk marks. Kids? No idea if this is relevant at all. I've just about got everything a girl could need in this little bag, but sadly nothing to wipe these markings away.
Can't use the carpet to do that. Whatever.
Well, okay. But just this once. Where's it supposed to go?
Curbstone over here.
Sounds like a good plan. Nah, pushing empty trash cans is way below my preferred difficulty level.
Okay, then we wait for the trash to come up.
There's a notice from garbage collect. According to this,
So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until the trash comes up.
the waste paper's empty.
I'm supposed to just stand in place and wait?
I can't expect any help from the doorman. I'll have to find out for myself where Professor Hartmann's gone off to.
You know he went to Africa or something, right? Can we do anything with that information?
The Biological Institute. This is where I'm supposed to be meeting Hartmann.
But he's not here, unfortunately.
I know Berlin punks are finding new body parts to punch holes in every day, but I think we've some years yet before all-over body piercing comes into fashion. Although, with that security camera there, perhaps I could upload the result to YouTube and set the trend. Who am I kidding? I'm no punk. Bio-waste. Certainly the right color. Wow, that stinks. I've just about got... Now let's see what's in it.
Got credit card, key, euro, and photo.
Let's keep this photo on me. It's supposed to remind me what I'm grafting for every day. Fulfilling my childhood dream of owning a pretty little white sailboat.
Did I grab the sticker or something?
Nah.
There's nowhere else to go. Am I just waiting for the trash person to come back again?
Globetrotters like my humble self prefer electronic means of payment. I don't have the professor's cell number.
Of course you don't. Why would you do?
If I throw the carpet over the metal spikes, I could climb over easily enough. But then I'd be in full view of the security camera and the doorman would spot me. I need to find a better way.
Few minutes later. Okay. Do it quickly. Do it quickly. And sneak in before anyone notices anything.
Made it. Now I somehow have to get into the Institute and find Professor Hartmann's office. Damn. The clamp is solid. I can't get the hose off.
The clamp is solid. I need to sort of unlock it somehow. Or loosen it up with some tool or whatever. There's a toolbox right there.
That's what comes from leaving your tools lying around.
Cut those. Because why not?
Freedom for garden hoses. The perfect entry assistance.
On the window?
Whoever said size doesn't matter was covering something up. This ladder, in particular, is way too short.
I need to make it taller then. Put it on something. A sign? What does the sign say? Why does it sign on a tree?
The sign is fastened to the tree with 4 screws. Nothing's gonna happen without some tools.
I got a coin.
The coin's a bit too thick to fit the screws.
Oh, fuck.
Too
Teeth?
big for the small screws. Too big for the small screws.
Fuck. Yeah, seriously, I have all these tools I can't use on the screws. Damn it.
An empty wallet.
Damn it. Come back to you later.
Would seem to be the main entrance.
I can't enter from the main
Walks into the
entrance.
building through the main entrance? The doorman would chuck me straight out. There's gotta be some more subtle way in there.
What can I do with the rake?
That's for the locker at the airport where I've stashed my travel luggage.
Oh. Can I use the hose on the window?
It's a hose, not a lasso.
Can I take more stuff from the toolbox?
I've already cleared it out.
Cleared it out.
I'm no quitter. I'm not
Okay.
leaving until I found the prof's office and some clue as to where he's disappeared off to.
Yeah, I can't go out that way to see if there's any stuff. Where can I use the damn rake?
A rake. Too big for the small screws.
Can I see
That's
what's the
work, Jesse.
sign?
It was Tree of the Year in 2005. How do I know that? It says so on the little sign.
2005.
Low walls, okay. 2 stories? Nope. I am not a world-class free climber.
You could just put it here
Whoever
first.
said size.
Toolbox. Tree areas only. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. Do I tie it to myself? Use this on myself? I can't do anything here.
You
Help.
have launched the Task Help function. As soon as a task becomes available, this is where you will find information and summaries of what's going on in the game. This means you will always know what you have to do next, just in case you've lost the thread. But don't worry, this information won't spoil the puzzles. The challenges before you can be solved by you alone.
Well, I need help. Do you not have a hint system?
The main entrance is a no-go because it's being monitored by the doorman. Maybe using a little skill and judgment, I could get to my goal.
Hello, Ghostly Aussie. Welcome to the stream. I'm already lost. Jeez Louise. Well, let me just take a peek at a walkthrough. The review make it sound so easy, but I am stuck. That's how bad I am at the game. Okay. Made it in. Okay, hold on.
What can we say?
I just need to look at the ladder first.
That means it's light and easy to handle. It seems to be new. There are no signs of use on it. I count 14 rungs divided over 2 legs, which are held together by 2 thin chains. Well, that's that then. Who needs a bolt cutter when head shears can do
I just need to look at all my items. I need to learn how to do that.
chains?
Gotta remember to do that. Now it's long enough.
Unfolded, the ladder's certainly long enough, but it's too flimsy to put weight on. I'll push the rake through the rungs of both of the ladder's legs.
Make it stronger, okay.
Still too unsteady. The rake could slip out from between the rungs if I climbed up it.
Okay,
Tie the rake to the garden hose so that the whole thing becomes a bit more steady.
there we go. Now can we go up?
Sturdy ladder. Well done, Sam.
All right.
Climbing through windows. A real cat burglar, me.
Let's hope no one looks out that window.
The coast is clear. A snack machine. Each of these little calorie bombs costs a cool $1.99.
Papers.
Nothing that I could use.
Ring binders.
Empty files. Useless.
Useless.
That office belongs to a Dr. Fritz Schneider.
Not who I'm looking for.
Professor Hartmann's office.
Can I go in?
Won't open.
It's locked. Of course it's locked.
That's Lieschen Muller's office.
Not what I'm looking for either.
And there it is, the exception to the rule. You don't always find something useful in waste bins.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Can I use my coin on a snack? Why not?
You only live once. I'll take a bag of crackers. My snack? And 1-cent change.
Damn, 1 cent only. Let's go out and unscrew this.
The 1-cent coin is thin enough to unscrew it. Amazeballs! Ugh, I have sunk to a new low.
Well, you need to keep your job. So don't complain.
That'll work. I'll bet my sailboat on it. Phew. Okay, Sam. Find the damn info on where our perfidious professor's gone off to. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll get your story, a pay rise, and that nice little sailboat you're dreaming of.
Let's hope so.
The cliche that professors are not exactly neat freaks might well hold true. But surely this is taking it to the next level. Hartmann really must have left in a hurry. A stack of homework, botany books, and writing materials. Thanks, but I don't think that they're gonna help me right now.
Waste paper basket?
There's some torn up paper on the top. I'll take a closer look.
Okay, puzzle time.
Facts. Now let's see if I can put this back together.
It's just a simple jigsaw puzzle. No, here. Is this not it?
Of paper.
Am I doing something wrong?
That has to be the upper left corner of the document. A perfect starting point. I'd better leave the piece just so.
Oh, I need to stick it together, I think. With some, I think, tape or something? Maybe that's why?
A stack of homework.
Is there glue or anything I could... Oh, there's one more. Sorry, I missed that piece of paper.
They've discovered some hitherto unknown species. Great, but where, for heaven's sake? Unfortunately, there's only a code here. GHN 7531. But maybe that'll help me further.
All right.
I don't think that these books are gonna help me further in any kind of way. From algae to zygopetalum, there's everything a botanist's heart could desire here.
What about here? Books and, I mean, anything to the clue here?
Stack of home.
Okay, so GHN. He does have a computer, I realized? Well, okay.
I'll let someone else recycle the rest of the garbage. Although, with a match, a little lighter fuel. No, got to focus on the essentials.
Yeah, don't start a fire. Jeez. Okay. Will you just knock on the door?
Not Professor Hartmann's office. Not Professor Hartmann's office. Nothing that I could use. Oh, empty file.
Stairs?
Go down and run into the doorman's arms, perhaps? I don't want to push my luck too far.
Okay. Can no one go out the window? So let's see if anything I missed here. Ring binders. I missed that.
Professor Hartmann's expedition is coded GHN 7531. These here are the wrong files.
Here? I'm just gonna check one by one.
This file is marked GHN 7520 to GHN 7535. It ought to contain notes from the current expedition. Bingo. GHN 7531. The expedition has gone to Ghana, to Lake Bosomtwi. So what the hell are they looking for there?
Ghana?
Lake Bosomtwi lies in the meteorite crater in Ghana's Ashanti region. It's 8 kilometers in diameter, about 80 meters deep, and doesn't have an outflow. The ecosystem and the lake are endemic, meaning there are lots of plant and animal varieties that are unique to that location.
Okay. And?
The priority is investigating the effects on the ecosystem of a massive meteorite strike.
Again with the meteorite.
Facts. The expedition has discovered some previously unknown organism. If the story's big enough to pull the professor away with such short notice, perhaps it's big enough to buy me a boat. Let's hit the trail for Ghana and Lake Basumtwi.
The flight to Accra via Amsterdam was pretty fuss-free, but the in-flight food was crappy, as expected. I was able to revive myself with some traditional fufu and a few Gordon Sparks in a chop shop before a bush pilot flew me into an airfield by Lake Basumtwi. With a bit of luck, I'll be at the base camp in a few hours.
You gonna walk there or what? Let's hope not. Oh, we're at the camp.
Everyone upped and left in the night. Strange. I've got goosebumps all of a sudden, despite the heat. I'm getting something of a horrible feeling here. I'd better get a move on so I can reach the Lake Basumtwi camp before nightfall.
Hey, let me just grab some items.
Well, okay, I'll take it with me. But be aware that this is non-alcoholic piss water.
It's lemonade. Cute cat.
Sits around all day. Probably shows up for food and fondling. Men.
It's just a freaking cat. Give it a break. Cut the wire? Okay, no. This is a toilet.
Holy shit. If a dead fish and a tramp had a baby and the baby threw up into a dog's mouth, the dog's end product would smell better than this toilet does. Even if I had to, I would not go in there.
Well, okay then. I'll find everything else.
Now then, any juice left in these at all? Airport terminal, Africa style.
Wait, this is an airport terminal?
For my taste. Where's the air-conditioned bar and duty-free?
What? I did not know there's an airport terminal. I swear.
Look like they've been used. The craft of writing my ass. A voice recorder gets a more natural interview every time. They fit, but will they have enough power?
Whatever. Oh, but these are
Matter.
plays at normal speed. Oh, okay. So if I want to hear something in slow motion, I can use that. Okay. I grab the cat.
Just two admittedly unfortunate words. Cat allergy.
Oh, you have a cat allergy. My bad.
I'm not that hungry yet.
Okay. Megaphone? Yes, I'm just taking everything.
Come, gather round, and have the piss taken out of you by a crazy lady with a megaphone. Ooh, I like it.
Well, I can keep it. Okay. The pole. Oh, it supports the thing. Okay. Got the cat.
It's screwed tightly to the column. The pocket knife only has this one blade, but it's extremely versatile. I can unscrew screws with it, for example.
Perfect. Cat. The windsock.
Lamp sock. Reminds me of my ex. You know what? Enough of that.
Okay, let's go into the jungle.
Camp lies northeast from here. That's where we want to be headed.
So, make it to this location, and we probably might just go into. Yeah.
Where's that perverse stink coming from? Oh, right. Pumbaa. They may be cute in cartoon form, but in the real world, those warthog tusks should not be underestimated.
So I need to get rid of the warthog.
Okay, away we go. Sing Hakuna Matata for me then.
Completely ignore me.
As long as that hog's eyeballing me, I really don't give a damn about the tree trunk. If I'm going to get to the camp, I need to drive off that wild pig. An interview with Pumbaa without official permission from Disney? What the hell do you dream about at night? No, don't tell me. I really don't want to know.
I thought it's to just record his sound and then play it back in a megaphone and scare him off.
Great. He seems to be quite unaffected. I guess that act's only good for scaring off lechers in bars.
Well,
Yeah, I had the act down pat. I suppose compared to most men, this pig is smart enough to tell the real thing from the crazy lady making cat noises in the jungle.
okay then. Back to this area. I can record the cat. And then play the sound out loud to the warthog. Maybe
Hello,
that will
Mr. Kitty.
scare
How about an
it
intro?
off.
Thank you for the profound discussion.
Thank you, cat. I may have an allergy, but thank you, cat.
I'll hold the megaphone close to the voice recorder speaker.
Oh, wait.
Now I'll put the used batteries into the voice recorder.
Play it slow, then,
Perhaps the pig's got a cat allergy as well. Success.
nice. And then let's go into the jungle further. We'll make it to the bridge area. Nice zoom out. See the whole area, man. And she's here. Very tiny.
Just like in the adventure movies. So, what do we have?
A broken rope.
The guide rope on the right-hand side of the bridge is broken. That's all I need. I can't get across with it like that. I need to...
I'm not gonna risk it. Wire rope?
Okay, I've caressed the screws. Now what?
Can I remove it somehow?
In this situation, unfortunately, the pocket knife is entirely useless.
Oh, can I just cut?
In this situation,
Okay, never mind.
a coat hook without a coat and made from metal.
I can't
Okay,
really do anything with that. Okay, maybe I have to come back to this later. Let's go look around the bridge area for more. Maybe I could see something.
if I ignore the busted guide rope and try to cross, I'll soon be acquainted with the chasm floor.
There's a bag there.
The bag's hanging too low. I can't reach it.
Is there a branch or something?
Straight and long. Could be useful. Ants. I must have scared him up.
Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to scare ya.
To attach the hook to the branch, I'm gonna need something more substantial than my iron will.
I need a rope or something. I'll try it. Can I just use the branch? Will it just grab it or it would just fall off?
Nudge the bag into the abyss? I might still need it.
Okay, I cannot just do that then. Okay. Like, that's
Sits
still
around
there.
all day. Crates of provisions. Well,
I'm not gonna starve to death here, that's for sure.
How do I attach it to the...
A coat hook.
Can I replace the branch?
Large scratches torn into the wood. Must have been something considerably bigger than the cat over there.
Probably what scared the thing off. I mean, the people off.
Now I'll put that one. If I'm going to attach the hook to the branch, I'm going to need something more substantial than my iron will.
How am I supposed to drill a hole into the branch? And take a peek at the walkthrough again, just to get a little hint as to what I'm supposed to do. Okay, hold on. Ah, I'm supposed to cut the cap up.
In fact,
My bad. I thought you wanted to keep it to wear it.
Throw the rest away.
My mistake.
This is where my exceptional capabilities in the tying of seamen's knots come into play. And to what should I now tie the hook? One
Branch.
long hook thing coming right up.
Awesome. So now we go to the bridge and pick up the bag.
Come to mama. Well, what have we got here then?
Just nice. How convenient that we have a wrench just as we need it. So let's use the wrench on this.
Fits. Now, let's just hope the mast doesn't fall when I remove the connector. How about that? Rope connector gone, mast still standing. A woman needs a little luck sometimes.
A little luck and a little intelligence. Connector on the rope. Or rope. Look at the rope.
A prime example of a professional bodge job.
Here we go.
See, this can't be all that difficult. Perhaps I ought to try it in the right sequence.
There we go. There we
That oughta
go.
hold. I'm
Tighten
supposed
it.
to completely destroy this delicate...
Oh, I thought I needed to
wrench.
tighten it.
I'd rather not.
Okay, never mind. Let's go into the jungle. And to the camp.
Whoa, what a mess. Who did this? Hello? Professor Hartmann? Strange. No one here. What the hell happened? I ought to take a look around.
Yes, of course he's not here just as we arrive. Let me save.
There's a fireplace here, but it's stone cold.
So they didn't set up the fire. There's a sensor here. What's the sensor for?
The working range of this sensor is 160 degrees.
160 degrees.
I ought to leave the stand where it is.
Oh. Leave the stand where it is. The hut is
Won't be
destroyed.
attracting much interest on the local real estate market.
Get some firewood.
It's like the hut was cleaned out by a tornado. That tipped over locker seems to be the only thing that hasn't been smashed or squashed.
Can I apply the...
Unfortunately, nothing usable within reach of the hook.
Can I cut this open? Pry it? No. You know what? I got firewood at the fireplace. Maybe set up a fire or something.
Fire. It'll keep me safe tonight from the cold and whatever else is out there.
Oh, and I need to clean my glasses a little bit. Give me a few moments. All right. Okay. Starting a fire.
Let's get cozy.
All right.
These rocks are getting hot in the sun.
Well, I can heat things up with this. I suppose.
Nothing left in it.
Nothing left in it.
Interesting storage method. That's how you keep your grub away from the hungry fauna. The crank is missing.
Of course the crank is missing. Why would it not be missing?
Mostly tramping about in the jungle. I ought to be finding out what happened here and where the scientists have disappeared to.
Of course.
Interesting story. If I had a jetpack, then maybe. I ought to leave the stand where it is.
Okay.
Trespassing here is not prohibited, just impossible.
What am I supposed to do? Put this on the stand?
Thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
For what, though? There's only one sensor. No, there's one sensor there, too. Beneath the hut. I can look beneath the hut. Okay. Look beneath the hut.
You want me to get a wood splinter? Even if the floorboards look rotten, you need something a little more heavy-duty than a manicured fingernail.
Do I not have any tools?
Feels kind of locked. Feels...
Kinda locked.
I'm not gonna get the metal locker open with that. I would need either an oversized tin opener, or, to keep it simple, the key. What I'd really like to know is what threw this great big locker all over the place. The wrench fits inside the pipe.
Oh. What's that for? That important?
Now I'll put the used batteries.
Sorry, I keep doing that.
That one...
The hut, I can go in. Sensors there.
A four-legged stand.
What do I do with this? Oh, do I just use that as the handle?
The crank is missing.
No. That kind of
The
works.
laws of leverage are your friends.
Can I just open it?
My favorite occupation. Plundering. Mostly fruit and veg. I'll leave that here and take everything else.
Okay, got the key. look below.
Uh-huh. It fits.
Laptop sensor. Pretty much check everything in the locker.
According to the sticker, that's Professor Hartmann's laptop. Sadly, though, the battery's flat.
Okay. Charge the solar powered panels.
Damn, I've got to assemble the solar charger first. All this DIY is beginning to get on my nerves.
But you have to do it anyways.
The mobile solar charger has to be assembled before it can be used.
Okay. First off, no? Okay. Wire. No, not this wire. Connector cable, connector cable. Oh, I can turn it. Aha. No? Okay, maybe wire.
The regulator is a good starting point. I'd better leave it where it is.
Right, okay. Wait, let me move the things. No, it doesn't go there. Doesn't go there. Snaps into place if you're right, I guess.
Bearing in mind I don't like puzzles, I've rather nailed that one, haven't I?
Yes. Yes, I did. And I save.
We've got no end of solar energy here. But which device should I be powering up with it? I'll connect the solar charger to the laptop.
Here you go.
The laptop and the solar charger here in the sun.
And let me put on the sensors on the stand since I have them all here.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
Okay, and then last one, either this one or that one.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. The perfect place. Ugh, the laptop's protected by a code.
What code?
Stuck pretty fast. I need something to scrape it off.
My knife.
Might leave a scratch, but the ends justify the means. Is that just the manufacturer's logo? It looks like wedding bands or something.
So it's the wedding date for the professor, isn't it? How am I supposed to know that?
In the facts, it says that the professor's colleagues have discovered a previously unknown species. I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
Okay.
I'll check the first aid kit.
Painkillers, letter.
The professor received this letter from his wife on their wedding anniversary.
2nd April.
Middle-aged
08.
people have very little of interest to say to one another.
My darling. Hope that these greetings manage to reach you there at the far reaches of the world. I'm sending you these few lines to mark our 22nd wedding anniversary in quite old-fashioned style, writing by hand and on proper writing paper. Thank you for always being there for me. Where would I be without you? Thinking of you and hoping that you'll soon be back home where we can catch up on our celebrations. Hoping for the wife's sake that the professor makes it back. 2nd April. Okay. Okay, 0, 2. What? No? Oh. Yeah, 2nd April. Am I wrong? 020408 or? What? "22nd. So wait. Calculator. Okay, hold on. "86. Okay. All right.
Looks like some kind of diary.
Okay. Day 1. First analysis have confirmed the results of my colleagues. In addition to a peculiar viral attack, the lake snail which we have discovered here in the Batsui really does have chloroplast produced naturally by its own body. It really is quite baffling that it displays genomic features of the Alicia species, which you would normally never find in fresh water. This again raises the question of whether the snail was perhaps originally never at all native to this lake and is in fact an intrusive species. Clearly, the snail has, in just a few evolutionary steps, become symbiotic with the freshwater algae present in the Batsui parts of the genome of the Soviet, and classified algae have integrated into the snail's genetic makeup, making it able to survive in this habitat. Hello, Herma. Welcome to the stream, and yes, we did manage to stop the apocalypse. It was man-made. We stopped the Piritus Cordis people. We did very good.
Sounds promising. Viruses that are responsible for evolutionary leaps? That story would be an absolute scoop.
Okay. This process is unique in its manifestations and throws a completely new light on the conditions for evolutionary processes. For so many years, I've been pursuing my theory concerning the influence of viruses on the changes to the genome I don't know how to pronounce that word, honestly. It's possible that I may now be able to finally prove it. Can it be that there really are viruses in these isolated waters which can rapidly drive changes within a species genome? Could the background history of how this lake came into being delivered dis- into being deliver decisive answers about the existence and the origins of these mysterious viruses? Could it be that they have no earthly origin but stem from the meteorite which created the Botsui crater? Might it even be that all evolutionary processes are favored or initiated in a similar way? We'll be working on all these questions in the coming weeks and months. If I can prove my theory, then it will surely be a bombshell in scientific thought. Genome, okay, that makes sense.
Now, is there any truth to these ghost stories?
A few mysterious happenings caused me to drop a supplement at this point. The expedition's native participants have been touched by some inexplicable concern and agitation. Two of them were out at dusk, recontouring by the lake shore, or it could be reconnoitering. I don't know what that word is. By the lake shore, and they saw something which has given them a terrible shock. It's probably some deep-rooted Ashanti legend, which is playing tricks with their perceptions. According to them, when night falls, there are vampire-like beings roaming through the tree branches over our heads, on the lookout for human prey. I find this high level of superstition irritating. In the end, I have found myself obligated to introduce a few precautions to protect the camp in order to calm down the man. We've assigned guards and installed movement sensors which will set off an alarm if anyone or anything intrudes on the camp.
Shit. Looks like it's quite possible they're close by here. I need to be careful. At least I now know where I can find the professor. Only now all that's missing is any clue to where this Christian mission is.
All the security measures were in vain. It came just after dark. It took us completely by surprise and without a sound. We couldn't do a thing. Those red eyes, the huge teeth, I'll never forget the scene. It was only with considerable effort that we were able to drive them off. Unfortunately, too late for my closest colleague. He was very badly wounded in the first attack and needs urgent medical care. Along with everything else, those who have had contact with the attackers within no time at all began to suffer influenza-like symptoms. It's no longer safe in the camp. We are therefore going to set out immediately and try to make it to the Christian mansion. I know how dangerous it is in the jungle at nighttime, but it can hardly get any worse, and we are all definitely going to keep it together. I would hope that I can return with some help from the men tomorrow in daylight and secure our expedition research results. There's no time for that now. They are going to come back. May God be with us.
No saved mail. And if I was going to send or receive any, then I'd also need an internet connection.
I keep dropping my food.
This is where Hartmann saved the pictorial info from the current expedition.
Okay, so the Botsumi from space. Arrival at the camp. First dive. Bay near our camp. Just wonderful. So some of these are actually real life pictures. Nice.
The map of the camp.
This is the camp.
A map of the region to the south of the Basumtwi. Aha. That over there to the west has to be the mission that Hartmann wrote about in his notes.
Okay, over here.
Even the most ambitious scientist has to switch off every now and then. Can't wait to see what kind of music the prof's into. No forecast without the internet. And I don't need a laptop to see how the weather is right now.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to set off for the mission now. I don't want to be wandering about in the jungle after dark.
Did you not hear what the person said? The professor said that, in the dark, this camp is not safe. You'll still get attacked.
To keep the beasties at
I'd be more safe if you're on your feet and walking about. So, let's say first, what did she say again?
That'll have to wait until tomorrow. I ought to get all the nighttime preparations done first. A decent campfire and a set of functioning motion sensors should mean I can sleep in peace.
Okay, then. I mean, I set up the motion sensors already. Do I just, what, wait?
All that's missing are marshmallows, a guitar, and some decent ghost stories. Mind you, given recent events, I can happily do without the latter.
Okay. How am I supposed to prepare to sleep?
The perfect...
Did I not set up everything already?
Dangerous to follow the scientists before daybreak. I need to make myself a fire and correctly arrange the motion detectors to save myself from any nasty surprises during the night.
Oh. So each sensor might have a different degree, so I might just have to remove all of it.
On the sensor, it says working range 90 degrees.
90,
Sensor has a working range of 75 degrees.
75, 90,
The working range...
60. Okay, there's a map here on the camp. Let me just see.
The map of the camp.
Map of the camp. This is the hut. So this one's like 90, I think works. 90. A little bit more than 90. This one's definitely more than 90. These two are 90. These two are 90. This one is smaller than 90. Okay, hold on. Let me go do that first.
Aha.
Okay, first
This sensor has the working range of a sensor.
90 degrees here.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
90 degrees.
This sensor on the sensor.
90 degrees.
I ought to leave the stand where.
I mean,
I'm thinking that
okay.
this sensor.
75.
I'm thinking the working range.
160 on this one.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs.
And then on this one.
I'm thinking that the sensor. Looks like the sensors are set up according to plan. There. All done. Now I'm gonna get some shut-eye.
It's still bright out though. Why do you need to get some shut-eye? Just keep walking. Sun's not even down yet. Jeez. Something bad's gonna happen, isn't it? See, something bad's gonna happen. I knew you should have kept walking. I told you.
What are they? Animals? Nasty. I need to scare them off somehow. Now I'll put the...
How do I do that? No? Hold on. How do I scare them off? I can't scare them off with the sound thing.
The weird creatures in the trees may pose a serious threat. I ought to drive them away as soon as I can. Maybe it'll give them a fright. They're gone. Hopefully they're gonna stay gone too. It won't be too long now until sunrise.
Just stay up then, don't sleep.
What a night. I never got back to sleep. What were those things? Hey, maybe I caught them on camera.
She slept too long, yeah. I mean, it was bright out when she said, oh, let's go to sleep. She could have kept walking. She might have made it to the mission area, like, before nightfall. Right? But no, she decided to just go to bed.
What the... In all the horror movies I've ever watched, I've never seen anything like this.
These look human, but with like really white mouth. Yeah, what's the story? Sorry, I have to click out a little bit. So that's why the screen's black. Okay? But okay, the story is we're playing as Sam Peters from game 2. So the game starts off in game 2. Of course, that's like fast forward, you know, like she tried to go to the get help from the mainland. That didn't work. We learned that in game 2. She returned home and she's now tracking down Professor Hartwell, I think his name was. Because there was like this big break or something. She is a journalist. So, Professor Hartwell was supposed to meet her at his university in Berlin. He wasn't there. He left, and came to this place. So we tracked him over here. But they encountered these creatures, who are like vampire-like creatures, and they got attacked. One of his colleagues was badly injured, so they had to leave to go to mission area to get him help and stuff. That's the story.
Direction to get to the mission. Professor, I'm on my way.
Yeah, so we start off here. This is the airport, a very rural airport. This swamp, the beach, and then we are at the camp. He's over here.
The mission. At last.
Please don't tell me there's no one here.
Hello? Anyone home?
Of course not. No, okay, there is someone home.
Be praised, my child. What can I do for you?
My name is Samantha Peters. I'm looking for a group of scientists.
Oh, Hartmann, not Hartwell, Hartmann.
According to the notes I found in their camp, they were headed here before they disappeared.
Yes, the men you're looking for arrived here yesterday.
Finally, I've caught up. Can you take me to them?
Unfortunately, that's not possible. They are in quarantine.
Quarantine?
They are very ill. They have high fevers and are unresponsive. Nobody is allowed near them until the doctor gets here. We want to avoid any possible spread of the disease.
Can't I at least have a brief talk with Professor Hartmann? It really is very important.
The professor isn't here.
Not here? Where is he?
If I've understood the men correctly, they were attacked at night.
Yes, she was the one caught in the jungle and was supposed to go get help from the mainland to save Max.
My child. It is not safe here when the darkness falls.
What aren't you telling me? What is it that you're
So yeah, and these is leading up to the third game.
Until you tell me
by the way.
what's going on here.
Child, I just want to protect you. If I let you in, you could become infected. And outside, you are not safe from the...
Yes, not safe from what? In the scientist's notes, it says that one of them was attacked by some animal species he didn't recognize before he became ill.
That was no animal.
Well, what was it then? For Christ's sakes! Oh, forgive me.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Listen, sister. You will now talk, or else I will break the fifth commandment. Who ambushed the scientists and dragged off the professor?
They come from above. The trees.
The people that we took the picture of.
Rebels? Hunters?
No, not humans.
Well, what then? Not
You have the
animals and
photo of them in your camera.
perhaps?
Why are you acting so dumb?
Some bosom. Never heard of him.
Ancient Ashanti legends tell of strange nighttime beings that lurk in wait for their victims among the boughs of the trees. They pluck unfortunate souls from the ground using their long, sharp claws.
Like Predator from the movie?
To their
A bit like that, yeah.
Then suck the blood from their victims.
They're like vampires a little bit
What
too.
does have to say about your believing in such blasphemous scare stories?
Scare stories? When you have lived among the Ashanti as long as I have,
Sam?
there's very little that appears.
Sam, you just saw them
Let's
last
reel this
night.
Conversation back in from the nether regions of God's asshole.
You took a photo. Yes, you took a photo. Why are you acting as dumb as Nina?
This little freak was one of a whole group sitting in the trees above me. Might this be one of your Asambosum?
Holy Maria, Mother of God, you can count your blessings that you are still alive,
They just look
my
like
child.
mutated humans.
Does really have schlepped off the professor then? Suppose it's true. Where would the Asambosum take their victims?
Into their caves.
I got that bit. Where are they exactly?
My child, you really don't want to go there.
Yes, I do. There's one hell of a... Sorry. A real scoop of a story there for sure. And I just might be able to save the professor while I'm at it. That is, as long as these things haven't sucked him dry already.
Then I really won't be able to stop you, my child. Wait here a moment.
Also, by the way, didn't she say that the men
This
who are
will be
sick
a
are
great
infected?
help to you on your
Is she not
reckless
infected by
undertaking.
staying here?
Take it.
I'm just saying.
What is it?
Some intense studies of the Asambosam and Ashanti legends.
Thanks.
May the Lord watch over you.
Okay, so we have to go to the caves, but let's see.
This is where the notes begin. So there were already patients at the mission with the same symptoms as the scientists.
Okay, 14th May 1974. The strange goings-on that I've been witnessing recently have prompted me recommence with making my regular diary entries starting today. My notes should help me later when I try to draw the correct conclusions from these happenings. In the early hours of the morning, they brought to us what was now the third laborer from the Blossom Tree Road building project. The men had found him during the night shift, just as they had the others, senseless and somewhat away from where the actual road works are taking place. The poor souls are battling the whole time to vainly make him regain consciousness. They appear to be suffering from an illness which is unknown to us. Their skin appears yellowish, and they have a high fever which racks their bodies with irregular cramps. Their faces and upper bodies also bear bloody wounds which have the appearance of scratches. Our order sisters are only able to offer limited help, but while we don't really know what we are up against here, we can't heal these men. We can only fight the symptoms that elevate the pain. The neediest ones need to be taken to a proper hospital as soon as possible. Could be prudence on how the disease spread. It also reminds me a little bit. And why does my tracker keeps going off to the side? Like, I don't know. Let me click out again and it's gonna go black again. Sorry. Just ignore that. But yeah, it reminds me of there's this like island supposedly where there's a tribe of people living on the island that's supposedly closed off from the rest of the world. I don't know if you've heard of that island before, and I don't know if it's true or not. It could be just like stories, but apparently there's this island of people who people really believe that they exist, where this entire tribe, this entire island is just closed off from everyone else. So no one can go to that island. not only because it's dangerous to go there because they're not open to the outside world and not as advanced as we are, like, you know, but also because like they might have diseases that we don't, and they might not have like gotten any diseases that we have. So if any of us were to go there, we could contact diseases that would make us very sick because we don't have the same immune system to fight it off like they do. And they might not also have the immune system to fight off the diseases that to us might be like normal, you know? The Sentinel Island? Maybe. It's just this story that I've heard that kind of has that same like context as this one. At least to me, I feel that's like the story I'm getting from this. Okay,
So
next page.
Men under attack from the same creatures?
Okay, 15 May 1974. Today, one of the patients was responsive for a brief period. I was expecting answers to my questions about his perhaps eating some strange plant or having come into contact with wild animal. But all that I got back from him was a disjointed stammering, which sounded to me as though he was trying to warn us about something or another.
Let's see. Here it is. The attackers came out of the trees and surrounded them.
Okay, 17 May 1974. As a result of the heavy rainfall of the past few days, the landing strip is now in pitiful condition, and it would seem that the construction company doesn't value the lives of these sick indigenous men highly enough to send a helicopter. So it looks like they'll have to stay with us for some indeterminate time. Today, each of the men was awake for a few minutes. My questioning about the possible causes of their ill health, however, once again passed without any result. I'm simply unable to make any kind of coherent whole from all the fragmented information of this puzzle. Just what I got to hear was too unbelievable. All three had become separated from the rest of their fellow laborers during a break, when they were attacked by something must have been lurking up in the trees above them. As I recounted this, the horror of the recollection of these happenings was written across their faces before they then fell back into deceptive peace of deep unconsciousness. What then had come down out of the branches to attack the laborers? Could it perhaps have been a snake? Such attacks on humans are heard of repeatedly, but such incidents are extremely rare. And then how is it that these laborers bear no signs of strangulation nor bite marks, only these terrible lacerations? I'm at a loss. Aren't they also hostile to us outside? Yes, they are. They are very hostile, so that's one reason as to why people shouldn't go there, because they do attack and even kill anyone who goes onto the island. And apparently I've heard that rumors there are cannibals too. I'm just saying. And then there's also the disease part, where because they're so closed off from the rest of the world, like they legitimately have no contact with the rest of the world whatsoever, that we don't know anything about the island, the diseases that may have, the mutations that they might have, or anything. So any disease from them or for us could be dangerous to like both parties, you know, because the immune system might be different since we grew up in such different environments. Apparently there are pictures taken, but I don't know how true these stories are. But these men, this supposedly Asambosam that appears in this game, kind of reminds me of those people.
Interesting.
Kinda.
There had also been similar cases in the past.
Okay, 19 May 1974. The patient's state of health remains critical. They are in a permanent twilight state during which the fever fits come and go. But I am also finally able to report something positive. I did, in fact, come across a promising clue yesterday. I found reports with descriptions of quite similar pattern of illness in our order's records. It was about 60 years ago that a British surveyor was attacked, following which he then suffered fever, cramps, and a yellowing of the skin and was brought to our mission. According to the records, the victim spoke during the fever episodes of demons with long claws and fangs which waylaid him in the night from out of the trees. The similarities between the events of then and now are obvious. I definitely have to find out more about this. If I only knew what we were dealing with here, I could then perhaps help the sick laborers.
The locals call the attackers the Asambosam. They're also supposed to be responsible for transmitting a virus. The old Ashanti shamans were able to control these mysterious beings and could protect themselves from the disease.
Okay, 22nd May 1974. I returned today from a 2-day journey. On account of the miserable road conditions, I had to make my way to the next village on foot. but my efforts were worth it. Because there's an Ashanti shaman there, old Kunabe, who have known one another for many years, and neither he nor I harbor any kind of prejudice or resentment on our account of our rather different views of the world and belief systems. Rather more, I respect his wisdom and experience, and they were once again of inestimable value to me. Although his stories in this case did require a high degree of the suspension of disbelief. According to his telling, the British surveyor had, as well as the native road laborers, were all attacked by the Faceless Ones. In the language of the Ashanti, these beings are known as the Asambosam. They are ancient and live in caves, which they leave only at night. Which there have been rumors, isn't it? And I've read a storybook before where there are a group of humans who like mutate differently from like most of the world because they stay inside, like in caves and like complete darkness. You know, so unlike us who we need the sun and everything, they can't approach the sun. You know, they're sensitive to light and everything. At least that's what one of the like stories from back in the day that I've read about. I read a lot. Okay. But also in the storybook that I read though, those people were like, okay, nice, I guess. They're not like completely like attacking innocent people, but stories, right? Okay. They lurk in the branches of the trees looking for their prey, but will only attack what they believe to be intruders on their territory. The shaman underscored his story with gruesome descriptions of these beings, which very much reminded me of the old vampire legends of Eastern Europe. I hope that these creatures exist only in the realms of myth. Kanabe also had some rather less gruesome and also all the more interesting information to impart. For the old shaman, these beings were apparently the guardians of the forest, and they maintained direct contact with the Asambosam. They knew where they hid and were able to control them, and above all, protect themselves from the disease they carried. According to Kanabe, this knowledge was unfortunately lost over the passage of time, but he reassured me that the legend is true and that the Asambosam do still live in the jungle, and do still protect it. Should this be true, I then need to uncover this secret at all costs.
The priest found himself in great danger on his quest for the antidote.
25th May 1974. The laborers have now been in our care for almost 2 weeks. As before, they're still suffering from fever and cramps. Barely anything has changed in their condition. The puzzling sickness has them firmly in its grasp. Even though I'm completely aware of the dangers these past few nights I've been out rambling in the jungle, should there just be a spark of truth in the old shaman's story, then I'll rediscover the lost wisdom, not least to help the sick laborers here in our mission.
The Asambosam exist. Now it's gonna get interesting.
I'm still quite confused. He spoke the truth. Every one of Kanabe's words is true. The Asambosam exist. I ought now to treat myself to a little peace. The effort demands its payment. My exhaustion and fatigue will be conquered with a few hours of sleep for sure. Once rested, I shall carry on with my diary tomorrow.
Ugh, such a lot of text. The priest stumbled across one of these Asambosam and followed him to a cave.
Okay, 28th May 1974. Last night I went further into the jungle than I've ever been before. My route led me in the direction of the lake, and I took a rest in a small clearing. It was as still as the grave. No crickets, no frogs, no birds, nothing. Only the quiet rustling of the trees. I looked around but could hardly make out a thing in the pale moonlight. As my eyes explored the jungle foliage and gradually adjusted more and more to the sparse light conditions, there it suddenly was, not 5 meters above me. There it was squatting, staring blankly at me. Its silhouette was barely discernible from the gray-blue background, but I quite definitely recognized the being. I noticed how it scrutinized me, stared at me, and sized me up. I must have paused there for quite some time and felt an ice-cold chill down my spine. What was going to happen now? Suddenly, Kunabe's description came into my mind. Razor-sharp teeth, long powerful arms, sharp claws to drag the defenseless victim up into the branches. No myth here, hard reality. Even now, as I pen these lines, my breath falters as I think back to this situation. Then suddenly, the Asambosam vanished. What kept him from leaping on me, I don't know. Probably saw me as not being a threat, and luckily for me, he just wasn't hungry either. Whatever, he skillfully darted off through the branches, as fast as an ape. The Lord only knows where I found the courage, but I set off after him. Notwithstanding some considerable effort, I eventually found myself standing in front of the Asambosam caves. I'm going to return to the location tomorrow and we'll explore further.
Translation of the inscriptions at the cave entrance brought something astonishing to light. It detailed a description of a ritual which could protect against catching the Asambosum disease, and which could also cure it.
Okay, 29th May 1974. After a thorough investigation of the entrance to the caves, I'm convinced it was made by Ashanti shamans. All around it, I found numerously heavily weathered inscriptions, which I have just translated this evening. Was I in the cave? No. I'm truly a God-fearing man, and for that reason, following the encounter of the previous evening, I was unwilling to once again make demands on the presence of the Lord. Nobody should unnecessarily expose themselves to the danger that lurks in those caves. I have therefore decided to take my knowledge with me to the grave. If some poor soul should ever see themselves forced to enter into the caves, the seeker will then find the required guidance. What I originally wanted to know, I was able to garner from the inscriptions on the walls at the entrance to the caves. In this, the old shamans describe a ritual which protects them from the Asambosum disease. This involved the shamans burning certain ingredients in a pot next to the entrance to the caves before they entered the cave to cleanse themselves in the smoke from the mixture. I intend to use this ritual on our patients here. Hopefully the healing concoction will have a positive effect.
They carried out the ritual, and despite no ready explanations for how, it worked. These experiences really rocked Father Samuel's concept of the world.
Okay, 2nd June 1974. I have something joyful to report. Following my carrying out the shaman's ritual, our patients are doing considerably better. The fever has eased, and yesterday the 3 laborers were awake for several hours. They are most certainly on the road to recovery, and I'm quite sure that in a few days' time, they will be completely well again and can be discharged. Although the way that this medicine works remains a mystery to me, its success is obvious and has quite surely nothing to do with a miracle. There's so much in this world that we do not understand. Much may be hidden to us, and much appear impossible to us. And yet it is there, and sometimes it even shakes our beliefs.
This is where it lists what you need for the ritual and how to carry it out.
The protection ritual. Before one can enter the home of the Asambosum, one must first of all cleanse oneself in the smoke. To do this, one should burn the following ingredients in a pot directly next to the entrance to the caves. Pure alcohol, sugar, and secretions, at least 5 examples required. These are the herbs and plants. Blossom from the goth plant, star lily blossom, rosewort twig, hyacinth blossom, and a few stalks of elysium.
Wow, that's incredible. I suppose I have to accustom myself to the notion.
So I don't know
Asambosum may
ancient
not be
rituals,
pure
but maybe you want to save the men
It's
and the
very
doctor.
convincing. Unfortunately,
We might have to
his
go
knowledge of the
and
route to the
capture
cave to
some
the
of
grave
these
with him.
ingredients.
At least I now know how I can protect myself from the Asambosum disease.
The art is very
If
pretty.
I find out where they're hiding, I still might be able
The
to...
Father Samuel, you're a great
This
drawer.
page has fallen out. It's blank.
It's definitely not blank. It probably needs some kind of invisible ink. Alabilla, no. It's blank. Pencil? Scratch it? No. Okay, maybe later. So,
Father Samuel knew the way to the Asambosum's caves. He writes in his diary that he will take this knowledge with him to his grave. It will, however, reveal itself to any searcher. Now, what did he mean by that? Perhaps I need to take a closer look at the gravestone.
okay, let's go to this graveyard. So this is Father Samuel's grave.
Father Samuel's grave. Strange. No epitaph, no date of birth, no date when he died. Just the name. Oh, and 9 curious symbols chiseled into the stone. Looks like lines and trees. I may at times have let myself get talked into things. I also may have been incentivized by the odd payment. But grave desecration is definitely off the agenda.
Okay, she's respectful that way.
Great.
Can I use
That lets me
this?
transfer the symbols onto the paper.
Okay.
The pencils had it. But I've now got perfect copies of the 9 symbols on Father Samuel's gravestone.
Thank you.
Transferred the ornamentation from the gravestone onto the paper.
Can I look at it?
Transferred the On the gravestone it says, J.H.M. Excuse me for not standing up. Must have been a proper gentleman. Or a Groucho Marx fan. Nothing good comes.
Okay. So I got the clay bowl. It's not going to show me the symbols, though, so...
Empty clay bowl. Who left this here?
Probably to use for the, symbol thing.
I've transferred the...
Can I look at it? Can you not zoom in and have it look at it for me? Jesus.
Billy, 1907 to 2006. Only the good die young. Either he had a low opinion of himself or a wicked sense of humor.
I say it's a wicked
Sister
sense of humor.
Josephine, 1852 to 1904. Here rest her bones, and for the first time, alone. Cheeky. Julius, 1767 to 1832. Here lie my mortal remains. I just wish they were yours. That's terrible.
This is a terrible man. Okay. Let me just try and gather the ingredients. Okay, look at the plants. And take a photo with my phone so I don't have to keep looking back at the diary again. Okay. Photo. No, wait. Okay, this is a better picture. Alrighty then. Okay, let's go back, pick the plants. I need this
Looks
plant.
like the Goethe plant. I'll pluck myself a blossom from it. A
This
few
plant.
stems of alyssum also need to go in the pot.
Is it this one?
That has to be rose herb.
Rose herb.
I need a stalk from it.
Star lily?
Very pretty. One blossom for my hair, one for the ritual, and one to stamp under my feet as an expression of rebellion. One blossom.
Don't waste the plant.
is enough, according to the diary.
Okay. Got all the things. Combined it. Okay, and then what was that? Sugar, alcohol. I got alcohol. But where's the sugar, man? Never mind. Back to the jungle.
Blossom's caves must be near here. Hopefully the professor's doing all right.
Okay. I know the ants are here.
I can't get at them with my bare hands.
How am I supposed to do that? Can I attract them with something? Ooh, lemonade. Okay, never mind.
There are a few ingredients missing from my favorite cocktail, such as rum and vodka and gin, maybe a little tequila. I also don't have any ice. Anyway, I've got more important things to do than get hammered in the jungle.
How am I supposed to capture the ants? Gotta make a trap for them or something, right?
Lukewarm, sugary sweet, and with not a hint of carbon dioxide. Delicious.
How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to catch them? I need a tool or something, but...
Not gonna work like that.
Oh. I don't know. Am I supposed to do that? The sugar could be from the lemonade, but how am I supposed to get the... Give me a moment. Take a peek. At the walkthrough again. Hold on. How to get the ants? Oh, I need to make a syrup first. So I have to do other stuff first before I can come back to this. Okay. Never mind. Let me do other stuff. Apparently I need to cut out the photos.
I'll carefully cut out the different symbols.
Then it's a jigsaw puzzle.
I can't exactly say I'm crazy about puzzles. I'll take this part as my start.
Okay, so I can do it with that. Hold on. Okay, never mind. No. Not that one either. How am I supposed to do this? Ah. Wait, is that it or? Not really. Kind of looks like it. I'm not sure. No. Okay, this one goes there. All right.
A map. The route to the Asambosum's caves.
Awesome. First, though, I need to go back to the camp and start the fire again. I need to make some syrup for the ants. I can solve the jigsaw puzzle at least.
I shouldn't burn it. Let's decant this delicate brew. Home economics is for housewives. Boiling the lemonades produced a thick, sticky syrup.
Use it on the ants. So I got this brush. I can capture the ants. So let's go back to the jungle and capture the ants. Here we go.
Gotcha. The ant stuck to the brush. Almost too easy. I had to give it a go with chopsticks. Gotcha.
Damn it, hold it. Shit.
One more.
One more, bitch. Come on. Stop hiding. Where are you at?
A respectable kill. Peters, the big small game hunter.
Okay. So, to the jungle. The caves.
To the caves. And no sign of the professor. I'd better go in and take a look. After carrying out the written instructions for Father Samuel's protection ritual, of course. I have absolutely no inclination to go catching hideous jungle monster disease.
Okay, so let me save. And then we can use the bowl here. Sugar.
And
Plant.
in it goes.
Just put all the ingredients into this
In
mixture.
it goes.
This bowl pot thing.
And in it goes.
Sugar.
And
Ants.
in it goes.
And then alcohol.
So, that ought to be all the ingredients.
Okay, and then start the fire. Because we need smoke.
Let's see what happens. Ugh, the way that stinks, just the smoke could keep pretty much anything away from me.
Well, it will keep you safe and alive and not drained of blood. Okay? So let's just take it in.
Smokes like my socks are on fire and smells like a wet fox. What the hell, so long as it confers improbably vast immunizing properties.
Alright, so time to go in.
Whoa, was that one of those things?
That was one of the Asambosum, yes. It is. Oh, jeez. Let me save. They just creep me out. They can't even walk.
Mask with eyes,
Look, they just
and
crawl?
some kind of war paint. More
Passage.
passages. Really does seem to be more extensive than I first thought.
Okay, back. Let's follow that person first.
Not the slightest trace of Prof. Hartmann. Only more passages that lead deeper into the caves.
How am I supposed to know what it
Some
means?
fans of masquerade balls?
So these is it means tree. Can I take down notes of this is feet down here? What does the symbol mean? What does do symbol mean? Am I supposed to get a clue for that anywhere? I don't know what this means, but this could mean move, walk. It's a feet. I don't know. I'm just gonna follow the arrow. Why is it here? Why is this red? I'm gonna grab a chunk of, I don't know, what is that?
A lump of resin. It's supposed to burn like tinder.
Oh, whoa, whoa, what is this?
It's like some kind of graphic novel. The story begins with a man choosing children from a large group. They follow him into a cave, and the door closes after them. The children continue to live there while the man teaches them to fight. The man also gives them food, and so the children gradually grow into men. But
Oh, this is the Asambosum.
mad. The children seem to change on the way. Their arms become longer, and they get
They mutate
great
because they're living in the
fangs like
caves.
predatory animals. Pretty gruesome. Looks like one of those weird lamps they sell in the Scandinavian furnishing store around the corner back home. I feel like it's there for a reason. Best leave it alone for now. Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens. The resin's burning. The poor children. If I only knew how they were changed, they'd make the story of the century. Perhaps the professor knows the answer. If he's still alive.
It leads to this
The
painting.
lamp's focusing the glow from the burning resin onto the cave wall. I should take a closer look.
Now look at it. Can you take a closer look?
The poor children. Perhaps the professor...
It's this specific thing. But she's not going to comment on
I
it.
feel like it's there for a reason. Best leave it alone for now.
Can I take a photo of that with my phone? Just in case it's for a puzzle. Right? I want to be able to solve the puzzle somehow. Although I can't really take a good photo well enough. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this one's better. Okay, took a photo of that. And I leave. Oh, here's another one, but I don't have a resin anymore. Damn it. I need more resin!
The poor children. If I only knew how they were changed, they'd make the story of the century. Perhaps the professor knows the answer. If he's still alive.
Okay, let me just explore and see if I could find anything. Because I need resin. I need to have resin.
Are the Asambosum fans of masquerade balls?
No, I don't think so.
A lump of resin.
Can I cut this up into pieces? Break it up? So I got more pieces to burn? Or do I just need to walk around and see?
Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
Since I'm already here, I might as well do this. I can do the other one later. This one is this. Okay, give me a take a photo of that too. Alright. There's no resin here. Just a mask. Can I burn it? Just burn it?
I don't think there's anything flammable in there.
Oh, jeez.
But was that an animal?
Oh my god, that scared me.
Human? Or
What the hell was that? Oh, fuck. I don't know if there's a death scene or not in this one. Oh my god, let me save. Because I need to keep exploring to find these resin pieces. There's a passage where I can go into? Oh, okay. Resin piece here.
let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
It's close to horror now. Like it went from like bizarre B tier, like nice, funny, comedic kind of like dramatic like game to this like scary horror crazy shit. This is creepy, man. I'll go in here already. Easy to get lost in here. Yeah, just keep exploring so I'm able to unlock. Whoa! This is a door. Oh, with the puzzle with that thing. Sorry, haven't unlocked you yet. Oh, this is just, it goes in circles. Never mind. Let me go back and do this one because I missed one. Sorry.
Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
Light it up again. The music is scary a little bit. Like the whole da-da-da. Oh my god. Okay. Take another photo of that. Can I see the symbol of my photo? Yes. Okay, now the last one. I could find out where that one was. No, I already did this one. This is to the outside, is it? This is the exit already. Damn it. Yeah, start over again from here. It's easier. Did this one already. Okay, this is back to the start. Over here then. Last one over here. Okay.
Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
Okay, and then take a photo of this one too. And then find that door. Find that door where I was at. I really don't remember how I got there in the first place. I just need to keep clicking because okay, here we are. Panels. Puzzle.
This mechanism with the 5 stone wheels would appear to open the door in this room.
Okay, so first off, let me save because I don't want to do that again. First with the children. And then there is one with the symbol at the end. The fourth one with the bowl. The second one with this. No, and then the last one with a bow and arrow.
Nothing.
Did I not get it right? Okay, hold on. First one is with... Okay, got the first one wrong. But okay. Save again. Oh my god, I'm scared. Oh my god.
Professor! Those damn creatures.
You're scared of the light, so follow bam!
Things are getting tight here. The battery's almost empty. Herr Professor! Professor Hartmann, can you hear me?
Are you still alive?
He's obviously in some considerable pain. I'm not gonna be able to...
This is so creepy. It's like horror at this
He's
point.
feeling better.
This is so creepy. Okay, wait. First aid kit. Aspirin?
Get these down, you prof.
No water, just swallow it. Okay, so swallow it dry. I'm sorry. Do I have these alcohol things? I don't. I just have bandages. Ah, shit. Better than nothing.
That should keep the blood off my clothes, and, broadly speaking, inside him. At least until I get him out of here. That will have to do until we get back to the mission.
Okay. And then just to be safe... No? Okay, damn it. Okay.
Don't worry, Professor. I'll get us out of here.
Can I carry him? Or okay. 2 days later. She just dragged him off.
Professor?
Damn.
You look considerably less shit than...
Okay, we saved his life. We saved his life.
Welcome back to the land...
Yay!
Thank you for the...
We didn't get killed, but that's some bow Sam.
The sisters
Oh,
have
fuck.
looked after us quite devotedly. And of course, my deepest thanks to you for your...
We saved his life, and we probably saved the rest of the people's life too.
Peters.
We got the antidote, right?
And you are the journalist. Please forgive me for setting off without you. But the situation left me with no other choice.
Forgiven and forgotten. If you give me the story as
Good
promised.
job.
Of course.
So you have a few minutes for me then?
Take
I think this is near the end, or this is the end.
like I've
I
got
think
anything else planned.
this game's supposed to be short,
Entirely sure.
about
that
like 2 hours or so.
all of the answers.
I've been playing this game for about 2 hours and 17 minutes,
What the Asan Bosam are.
and this whole 2 hour long ish video is just gonna go up on YouTube as the whole thing. I'm not gonna edit it. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
They are
You're just gonna
always
get the whole thing in one video.
with an extraordinary bond with nature. As with all native peoples, their living space also forms the basis for their existence. They naturally defend it with every means at their disposal.
I think, okay, the Asam Bosam don't mean
Shaman must have realized that they would not
anything bad,
defend their lands indefinitely from
because
outsiders.
they're just defending themselves. They're not like attacking people on purpose,
Exceptional
right?
warriors.
The ritual that
And
shone in the cave.
they became that way because they live in a cave. So they,
things don't appear
their bodies
in any way.
evolved
What happened?
Well, it happens that
in a way that different to us normal humans, where we live in the sun and everything.
the reason we were
So
here
they
to
adapted to their surroundings, I
in the
think.
first place.
Whose genome has changed through eating the
So yeah, their genome changed as well because of the meteorite, I think.
The algae may have been carrying a virus, which, over a relatively short period of time,
Uncut and
triggered a
uncensored.
genetic mutation.
Well, this is all you get. You know, yeah, uncut and uncensored, the whole thing.
The Indonesian
You know, you can just watch the whole thing. I don't usually upload, like, videos that are too long, but I'm lazy to cut this video.
who was a
I was so engrossed I didn't take any breaks in between. I was just like playing it.
all
So you're gonna get the whole thing. I'm too lazy to cut in between and
evolved
everything.
in only a few generations as a result of their isolated environment and in response to the narrow, low-ceilinged cave systems of the region.
An unbelievable evolutionary step.
Relative to conventional evolution, this process really did take place at the speed of light.
As with the Asambosam.
Possibly. Perhaps, as with the snail and the algae, the virus is the explanatory factor across all these examples.
How far does this go?
Perhaps the shaman knew that the algae possessed some form of mutational capability and raised his warriors on it. The terrifying result you've witnessed first.
I don't like that Charmin. You mutated children for no reason.
Outsiders like us away.
That is
I feel
my-
bad for the kids.
Yes.
And what about this disease they carry?
That, alas, is one of the questions I cannot currently answer. The Asen Bosum themselves appear to be immune to it. Perhaps it's a further defense mechanism.
Do you think that they killed anyone?
No, at least not
I
directly.
feel like it's just like because they evolve in a different way
They were designed
and their genes are mutated in a different way. So it's a
not to.
disease. You know, kind of like some diseases to like animals are like normal and like
Research goes, Professor.
flu to
This
them.
story is
But if a human contact it,
That may
it's very deadly.
well be the case.
You know, it doesn't kill the animal. The animals are fine themselves. Like it's just a normal disease. But
in the best
to the human, it's very dangerous because we're different.
perceived
right?
self-defense.
That's what I'm thinking this
turning
is.
children into monsters?
We don't have to approve morally. But does morality apply in the case of survival? Doesn't every nation do
And this guy has a point. I don't agree morally with mutating kids and
are not the first one,
training them to be soldiers, but
and I doubt the intentions of all such visitors.
things happen. Yeah,
Special case, I have to ask myself, even
these things happen. I feel like in real life too, in some parts of the world, maybe it's like there might be a culture like that I don't understand. Maybe less
What we're paid for.
crazy, you know, like with the whole like creepiness and all, but
what you
maybe.
is
I mean, there's the Sentinel Island that we talked about earlier. They exist, I think.
I have to make a decision. Should I go ahead and publish the story?
Okay. Do we want to publish this story? or not. Can I save? Okay, here's the thing about publishing the story, though, because they're protecting themselves, right? So they... no one knows where they are, so they're kept, like, protected, so to speak. I don't know if I'm okay with publishing the story, because they might be captured and all that shit. Like, I don't want to disturb them. They don't mean any harm. Sure, I don't agree with them, like, mutating kids and training them to be warriors and everything, but... you know, I no.
I simply didn't have the heart. May a cloak of silence remain forever over the existence of the Asymbosum. Freedom really is so
They keep
much
to
more
themselves.
than anything
Just don't
else.
wander into their territory and you're fine.
That's something.
You know what? I will leave the antidote for the mission.
On my little
Okay, I'll give it to the nuns and the priests there and wherever. And anyone who catches the illness, they can cure themselves.
Whether or
Okay?
not
No
he managed
harm.
to get over the small
Right?
heart attack that followed, I'm afraid I don't know. And frankly, I don't give a damn. It's time for me to drop by on Max in Berlin again. Perhaps he'll finally even introduce me to his beloved Nina. From the way he went on about her in Indonesia, I don't think they'll be apart for too long. And maybe he'll have a fabulously lucrative job for me and get that sailboat back on track.
And this leads to the events of Secret Files 3. So that is going to the end for this game. And the start of Secret Files 3. Which is why I played this before Secret Files 3. Because we just finished Secret Files 2. Wanted to know what happened to Sam Peters because she just appeared briefly and then disappeared for the rest of the game. So at least now we learned what happened to her after that. And we will move on to Secret Files 3. I'll have to take a little break here, though, before I start Secret Files 3. I'm just saying. But yeah, kudos to all these people who make the game. It was really good. It's too bad the Hermit Gamer wasn't here to see it. Or are you still here? Might be busy at work or something. But hopefully, you're still here, and you saw the ending of the game. And maybe it will change your mind. And is the game in A tier yet for you? Because I say it is. It's actually pretty good for a really short game. I saw a lot of reviews online of the game. And of how they say it's not good enough or whatever, but I have the same opinion I did now as I did like many years ago when I played the game before. I like it. I like it a lot. I do. You know, it's a bit creepy towards the end there. It's just, oh, the Asymbosum is scary, but they're not evil, right? They're not evil. And there is another ending to this game, so who knows? I might play that ending off stream, of course, because I don't think I have a save that's really near that. And you know, I do. Do you want to see the ending for the other one? I can show it to you. You know what? Let's show it to you. I already opened the door, might as well. And yeah, this is creepy. This is creepy. Doing it again. But this is the closest save I have, okay? You gotta see this cutscene all over again.
Professor.
So yeah, save the professor. Scare them off.
Things are getting tight here. The battery's almost empty.
Okay? Scare them off.
Herr Professor! Professor!
Okay, skip through that. Save the professor, give him meds, and bandage him up. And then
That should...
bandage him up.
That will have to do it.
And then let's go. Okay, we'll go through the interview again. they're all better. And this time I'll choose the other ending. I'll pick yes, and you guys would see what the ending is. I feel like it's gonna be sad
That
for the Asambosam.
And that justifies.
Okay, that's that. Okay, skip through that entire conversation.
I have to make a decision.
Okay, so
Should I go ahead and publish the story?
just so you know, the ending that I picked, like in my head, like like in canon, I can't say the whole word. It's like in canon, the ending would be me picking no. Okay, that would be the ending for me, right? But just to show you guys what the ending is, because there are two endings to this game, I'll pick yes this time, and you'll see what happens when we get the yes ending.
In retrospect, publishing the Asambosam story really wasn't such a good idea. At least, not for the Asambosam themselves. There was a gold rush. Scientists, journalists, tourists, even big game hunters. The military looked on and did nothing. The few game wardens were helpless. When mass demonstrations back in the West finally delivered human rights for the Asambosam, it was almost too late. But at least the last Asambosam had been freed from the clutches of unscrupulous zoo owners and show people. They've been moved to rehabilitation stations, where they're being prepared for their return to their original habitat. The Basumtwi has been declared a World Heritage Site and Nature Reserve, monitored by an international protection force. Oh yes, and as for me, well, the story made me a small fortune, some amount of fame, and a not-so-small sailboat. In fact, a vast one. So, not such a bad ending after all.
Do you mean it's really not our fault, or are you really blaming us? But in a sense, you make a fair point, because in terms of history, though, like, it's good to learn about these things, right? And wouldn't mean any harm. But of course, humans being humans, and not all of us are good, some of them have really bad reactions to these things. They make choices that I don't agree with, like even in real life. No, in this case, obviously, they almost caused harm to the Asambosam, but at the very least, at the end, they were protected and going to be moved back to their own home. And Sam did get a bit of fame and everything and kept her job in this ending, so it really depends on how you want to see it. Okay? Like, for me, though, if you ask me personally, I would not be able to publish that story if it was me. Like, it would be a secret that I took to my grave. You know, that kind of thing. Because it's just, I can't bring myself to actually publish the story. It won't feel right for my morals if it was me, right? At the very least, even in the ending where you did post and publish the story, they end up being protected, you know, by civilization. So there are people who actually did fight for their rights, which took a while, but at the very least, they did try to do that, right? So that is it for Secret Files Sam Peters. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank y'all so much for watching the video. I am not gonna cut anything. Like y'all said, right? It's uncut and uncensored. You're just gonna get the whole thing, a full VOD. You're just gonna have at it, okay? It's like 2 hours and 24 minutes, going like 25. It's pretty long, but you're just gonna get the whole thing. Why not, right? There you go. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.